Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and it's time. It's Manchester United in the Champions League time and it's Manchester United against Galatasaray time and it's Manchester United need to win time. The team is up on the screen for you there. Look, as you know, when it comes down to this, I am behind Ten Hag and that's not going to be disputed and I will stay like that. But it doesn't mean I have to lap up absolutely everything that he does. And I've got to admit that straight away, that team for me isn't right. Well, in my opinion, it's not right. I don't think it's right. I think that it is right because it's the team that Ten Hag has picked and I think it will win. But I just despair in a sense that I would have picked Maguire. I mean, shock, horror. I mean, maybe I'm going to get, people are going to fall off their chairs here. I can't believe what Goldbridge just said. I would have played Maguire because it's Galatasaray at home. And if you can't play Maguire against Galatasaray at home, what are we doing with him? I mean, I'm not his biggest fan, as you know, but Lindelof right back, Dalot left back, Maguire centre back, Amrabat in the midfield. And it worries me a little bit because I did say this in the preview yesterday. He ain't never going to drop Bruno. He ain't never going to drop Rashford. And he ain't never going to drop Mount. So where does Amrabat fit into that midfield? And it worries me a little bit because he could have constructed a defence that was far more balanced than that. Look, honestly, I think we'll win the game. And I think that will be... that's the main thing. But I don't think that team's the answer. In the long term, I don't think it's balanced. I don't think it's right. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm looking at that team and I'm looking at what I said in the preview. No Garnacho and Amrabat as fullback, says Mario Franco. Yeah, I mean, look, I had Martial up front. I had Garnacho on the left wing, Amrabat in the midfield and Maguire at centre-back. So it's a lot different to what I thought he was going to do. I do think we'll win. I think we'll react. I sense a performance from Manchester United tonight. I really do think we'll win. But my issue is, I don't think that's the team that's going to take us forward. And I think that, look, I'm just going to say, I think Garnacho is massively unlucky not to be starting tonight. I really do. I don't actually even understand why he's not. I think he's really, really, really unlucky. And I'm not gonna say he's not. Obviously, this keeps happening. And look, I like Marcus Rashford. Extremely lucky to be. It's not justifiable, actually. It's not justifiable. It's the manager's choice, and we back the manager, and he does what he wants to do, and that's why he gets paid, and that's why it says Man United manager next to him. But I'm telling you now, Pep Guardiola doesn't pick Rashford. Jurgen Klopp doesn't pick Rashford. He makes the change that everybody knows needed to be changed. Garnacho comes in, and Rashford goes to the right, or he goes to the bench. That's what happens. I can sort of live with Amrabat at left back, but I mean, I would have played Maguire. I don't really see why Maguire's here anymore. I really don't see what we're doing with him. But we've got injury crisis, and he still can't start a game. And we're playing a midfielder at left back rather than playing people in natural positions. Lindelof has played at right back numerous times throughout his career. Dalot has played at left back numerous times throughout his career. We could have put a balanced back four out and put Amrabat in the midfield. We're putting Mount in the team because I think we're shoehorning Mason Mount in because we spent money on him. But for me, the biggest disappointment is Garnacho's on the bench. The bench is Bayinda, Vitek, two goalkeepers on the bench, Maguire, Evans, Eriksson, McTominay, Pellistri, Anthony, Garnacho, Martial. Anthony's back involved, which is good. Of course, he could have started actually, which would not have surprised me at all. But yeah, look, it's not like the days of Ollie or Mourinho where you're losing your shit. And as Bailey says, Hannibal deserves the start. Happy about that. Yeah, there is a positive. I was just about to come on to that anyway. There are positives. Rafael Varane is fit. Also, I think another big positive as well is that Onana is in goal. We spoke about this on the morning show. It was nearly 50-50 on whether he should start. I massively think it would have been a huge concern if Bayinda had started. And also, let's not forget, that was the rumour. That was a leak that Bayinda was going to start. So I don't know what that was all about. Are Man United trying to out the leaks? I don't know, because that came from the Evening Standard, which is an actual newspaper outlet. But I'm really happy that Onana's in goal. This is not the game to take your number one goalkeeper out of the game. He's very massively experienced in the Champions League as well. So, look, I agree with the goalkeeper. I agree with Mabry starting. I just don't agree. I hate. You can tell I hate saying this because everybody will go, you kiss Ten Hag's arse too much, Mark. You just let him, But I hate doing this because I don't want to do it, and I know a lot of you are more than happy to do it. But I don't like doing this because I think we will win, and I want these players to succeed, and I want Ten Hag to succeed. But I do not agree with some of his selections tonight. Tevin says Rashi starts for me and Eric back your players. Yeah, and look, people are going to agree and disagree, but I sort of agree with Trevor who says favourites FC. I don't know. I just don't understand why Marcus Rashford is starting over Garnacho. I don't know what more Garnacho needs to do. Like, he had his breakout season last year. He should start today. If you've got a player that's got a higher ceiling than all your other wingers, and he's 18, 19, and your other wingers have played shit, he should start. And he's not starting. So if I'm Garnacho, I'm sat there and I'm going, and look, he's a strong-minded individual. He probably doesn't care really. He's probably happy and everything like that. But as a fan, I'm looking at it and going, what does Garnacho need to do to start then? Because I remember him coming on against Fulham in the last game before the World Cup last year and winning us 3 points when it was going to be a draw. I remember him coming on in the FA Cup in June and being the best player on the pitch. He has already done his apprenticeship. He should be starting games of football. But look, I'm not going to say any more because I do like Rashford. I do like the players, and I think we'll win tonight. But I'm not going to lie and say that it does feel a little bit favourite-y, doesn't it? And I don't mind that, but I don't like it when other players deserve a chance. Liverpool have exposed that VAR is a mess and don't work. It's time to get rid, or in every game, let us hear what VAR is saying in every check, says Nathan. I've just done a video on that on That's Football, actually, yeah. Should have had Martial left wing, Garnacho right wing, Delo left back, Pellistri right back, Amrabat CDM, says Sean. I do back Ten Hag, but he's racking up many bad decisions, whether it's who starts, subs, or playing people out position. I'm really struggling with it, says Tomo. Well, we've got to win tonight, and I think we will win tonight. Hi, Mark, just tuned in. Now, clearly some things will never change. Same team all the time. Sometimes we need to shuffle things, others a chance, says Kenny. Look, I love Bruno Fernandes, but I even said in my preview last night that I would not be opposed to playing Amrabat in the midfield with Casemiro, and if he's obsessed with Mason Mount, then drop Bruno. If that's what he wants to do that. But he hasn't really made any significant changes to that team at all. Like, there is literally no resolve. There is no change to that team at all from Saturday, where we were abysmal. Like, it's the same front six, apart from Pellistri, who quite clearly was not the problem and would be considered to be an up-and-coming player. Hi, Mark. Just done that from Kenny. Welcome to Members Club TZ. Appreciate that. Get your thoughts in on the team. Minnie says, if we are on the right track, then stick to these players. It's fine. Obviously, we're not. Eric Ten Hag's just being naive, says Minnie. Ten Hag not dropping Rashford. Mount will be his downfall, just like Ollie picking Fred and McTominay all the time, says ASMR. What I do like about this, and what I do like about Ten Hag, is his stubbornness and obsession that he is correct. And he proved it time and time again last season that he was correct. Because he is absolutely, as a massive fan of his, he is absolutely putting his neck on the line. Because he is sticking with a team that really doesn't deserve to start. Like, 2 or 3 of those players could easily be dropped, and nobody would say he's got it wrong. In fact, he would probably get more praise if he dropped the players. So to stick with the players that some people would have dropped, I actually quite like that in a manager, because it shows that they back themselves against what the majority think. And you want that. Sir Alex used to do it sometimes. And I hope he's right. Ten Hag said something very telling to Paul Scholes. He didn't want to overplay Hannibal because of his age. I think he has a very rigid set of rules, says Nick P. And why don't we just trust the manager on Garnacho? I've yet to see Garnacho start and play well. He should come off the bench. Trust Ten Hag, says Remy. But that's part of the problem, Remy. How often does Garnacho come off the bench with half an hour to go or 20 minutes to go? Most of the time, he's brought on with 10 minutes to go. He's not getting the game time, I think. Premier League were offered the technology used in the World Cup, but refused. That technology was amazing, says Mohammed. Welcome to Members Club, Stephanie Barton. And I would rather we play Marcus Rashford in the left-back position than seeing Harry Maguire on the pitch, says Bozo. And have we noticed how the same selection of poor players is happening, like with Ollie and favourites? Maybe he is being made to because of contract clauses, says Legendary. Well, that would be a guess at the end of the day, wouldn't it? That would be a guess. Anyway, look, we've started the show. As you can see, these autumn nights are starting to come in. I've got my lovely Boohoo Man fleece on, red and black, for tonight's match. You can get yours and you can get 40% off through the link in the description or by scanning the QR code next to me and using the code Goldbridge. Whether you're looking for a new autumnal wardrobe, not the wardrobe, the clothing, down the gym, five-a-side, chilling out watching a match like I am, they've got you covered at Boohoo Man, and you can get 40% off, a massive 40% off on their clothing range with that code Goldbridge. And as always with Boohoo Man, they love the United Stand, they love the viewers, they've come up with a bit of trivia for you, so here it is. Let's dive right in. Can you guess who I'm talking about? It's not Nanny. I was born on the 3rd of May 1961 in Fulford, York. That would make them 53. During my playing career, I played 305 games for teams including Hull, Derby, Bristol and Oxford. I don't know who it is. I joined Manchester United as the assistant manager to Sir Alex Ferguson, and I was part of the management team for the iconic treble-winning side. I know who it is. I was England manager from August 2006 to November 2007. I've managed several clubs, including Middlesbrough, FC20, Wolfsburg, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle and Derby County, to name just a few. And I rejoined Manchester United and as assistant coach under the manager of Erik ten Hag in 2022. I play along now as well. Sometimes I used to look at the answer, but of course... the answer is, I know who the answer is. I'm just waiting to see if anyone in the chat can get it. It's not Steve Bruce, Lee and Jones. Michael Collins has got it. Philip Prince has got it. Brian's got it. Chrome Eel has got it. And just Kevin says easy, but doesn't tell us who it is. It is, of course, Steve McLaren. Big thank you to Boohoo Man as always for being interactive with us. Get your clothing there with a 40% discount. Goldbridge is the code. Links in the description, or you can scan that QR code as it goes round on your camera phone. 40% off. Legends at Boohoo Man. Thank you very much to them. And United are a ticking time bomb, says Luke. Few more losses and it will explode. Our injuries haven't helped, but this is when players need to fight for each other. Not even Erik ten Hag can think he's right by playing Amrabat on the left, who can't overlap with a Rashford who doesn't track back. He has a back with Lindelof, says James Gallagher. Shaw, Martinez, Wan-Bissaka, Anthony, Sancho, Malacia, Varane and Mount were out more than a month, yet we blame Ten Hag for no cohesion, says A. On a positive note, we are watching along with Mark for entertainment. Don't forget to get your Not So Silent Night United Stand tickets like me, says Slow Sports News. Yes, big shout out for that. If you join the members club and go to the community tab, you can get your tickets early for our Christmas event, which is in Manchester in early December. Our Not So Silent Night. Got some fantastic stuff lined up for you. The whole crew will be involved in that as well. And I think at this one, I'm actually going to come out and have a drink before the show because I'm fed up of Ricky doing it and everyone going, Ricky, let me try your drink. And I have to stay in my bloody room because they're like, it will be too many people crowding round. Well, I'm going to be there before for a drink this time. You can get your tickets if you're a member. And they're out for public consumption tomorrow. So get hold of your tickets while you can if you're a member on the community tab. Garnacho needs to start with Højlund. If you remember, he started when Rashford was playing forward. We need to start him with Højlund and C, says Ankit. And really missing Anthony, to be honest, says Deep. He gets a lot of criticism, but you can't argue with his work rate, and his position holding formation gives more space for the team. I think we'll start to see the return of Anthony tonight, definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely see him. He'll come on. He'll come on tonight. I'm convinced about it. Let's have a look at the Galatasaray team, actually. That's something we haven't looked at. And I am interested to see Wilfried Zaha. Obviously, Icardi, we'll know all about him. Davinson Sanchez is there as well. Interesting opposition. I don't think they're that good. I mean, effectively... I don't think it's going to be a Turkish delight. And if you've ever had Turkish delight, I don't like it. For me, Turkish delight is a BTEC Poundland Wish version of Jelly Babies, which I actually like. So tonight, it's Turkish Delight FC against Jelly Babies FC, which is probably quite apt because I prefer Jelly Babies' texture and taste to Turkish Delight. But actually, Turkish Delight against Jelly Babies in a footballing sense, spineless Jelly Babies against Turkish Delight. So in a footballing sense, which way will it go? When it comes to putting it in your mouth, I would rather have Jelly Babies than Turkish Delight. But yeah, let's see what it's all about anyway. That Galatasaray team, look, Zaha is a good player and he's Premier League proven. So I'd be keeping an eye on him. Angelino, I actually quite liked him at Leipzig and he was at Man City as well. I've always thought that he's a decent player. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I'd watched him more than 10 times, but every time I've seen him, I've always been impressed. Davinson Sanchez, I think, is not very good. Torreira in the midfield was at Arsenal. Don't think he's that good either. Icardi can run hot and cold. But Zaha and Angelino down that left-hand side could be quite interesting. They have got Ndembele and Mertens on the bench. I feel like Tete at Galatasaray is a player I know more about than I don't know. He's 23. Let me have a quick look about what his career is because I get the feeling I know more about this player than I think I do. Oh, he was on loan at Leicester, wasn't he? He was on loan at Leicester last year, and he actually, I expected him to do better on loan at he scored I think he scored a goal, didn't he, for Leicester or something like that. And he looked like he was going to be really good. How you been, Mark, says Sasha. I'm not too bad. Turkish Delight, says Daniel Starr. Yeah, that Tete is looked good at Leicester. I knew something about him. Ben Foster said to me today, what, the one who played for Watford? I said, I don't know what you're on about. This guy's a winger. Ziyech, I think Ziyech was part of their team, but I think he might be injured or I don't know what happened to Ziyech. I'm sure the chat can know. My score prediction is 2-1 to Manchester United tonight. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We have hit 750,000. So I just wanted to say, and I waited till we're in the show a little bit. I just wanted to say, absolutely, I've been saying it from day one when we only had like 50 people watching. The channel is nothing without you. It's real fan opinion for fans, and we've always interacted, and that's the way it works. But 1.75 million is pretty big. Like, I'm not saying we'll ever hit 2 million, but, it goes 1 million, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75 million. Comfortably the biggest independent football channel in the world. And just incredible. But look, it looks good, doesn't it? 1.75 million. You're absolute legends. And we've got to keep it ahead of That's Football. That's Football's doing all right, That's Football's at 1 million. It could catch it up. And Dembele from Spurs on the bench as well, says Matthew Williams. Yeah, that's what I was going to say about Galatasaray. I think sometimes Galatasaray reminds me, when there's a World Cup and you go, oh, Uruguay have got Cavani, Suarez, Bentancur, Valverde. Oh, they're great. And then you watch them play and it just doesn't work. I get a feeling Galatasaray are a little bit like that. People go, oh, Zaha, Icardi, Davinson Sanchez, Tete. But I'm not convinced it works. I think they've got some good individuals, but I don't think they work as a team as well as you might think. And let's not forget, Copenhagen got a 2-2 draw from being 2-0 up in Turkey. What do you think is going through Garnacho's mind, says Mario? I think Garnacho, hopefully, is just an eager, professional young man who will bide his time and stay professional. Obviously, Jadon Sancho wasn't willing to do that. And can I just say, there is never any change, in my opinion, when it comes to Jadon Sancho, because what he did was wrong. You do not put a tweet out about your manager because you haven't been picked. But what I always said was, how he feels is probably right. It's just the way he's communicated it. Because I'm sat here, and I'm sure some of you are sat here going, why is Rashford starting over Garnacho? It's favouritism. And it has to work. Ten Hag has to make it work. And hopefully it does work. And hopefully Rashford starts scoring goals again. But it doesn't mean it's not favouritism. Even if Rashford scores a hat-trick in his next 10 games, Ten Hag is right, Rashford is back, but he's still a favourite. He's still being picked when he probably doesn't deserve to be picked. So I'm not saying that Sancho's wrong about favouritism. He is right. It was the way he handled it that was wrong. And, you know, I think we all know Ten Hag's got his favourites. When you go in on National Geographical then, Mark, says Aaron, well, I wrote them a letter today, an email, basically saying I want proof that a polar bear can beat a lion. And, well, it can beat a lion, a hippo. Battle of individuals and moments tonight. I think hopefully it'll be in United's favour. This is a massive game. Owen, I think that's an absolutely top tier analysis of this game. If United play like they've been playing all season, we will be reliant on individuals. And I think Galatasaray are a team that rely on individuals as well. So it's Moments FC against Moments FC. To be fair, Uruguay have Bielsa now, so they're probably good, says Nathan. And Mark, how bad does Rashford have to play to get dropped? If we don't win, the manager will be under serious pressure. Glazers out, says Marcus. I think it's the... Look. Predictions mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing because they're predictions. But I actually think we'll win quite comfortably tonight. I think we will get a reaction. Ferdinand says that Premier League clubs voted against having the offside tech used at the World Cup in the league this season. Funny if true, says Jesus. And Corey, thank you very much. Look, in relation to that, it sort of does impact on us because we have been the victim of some bad VAR decisions this season. They've released the audio of the Liverpool onside decision. And I'm not going to dwell on this too long because I've just done a video on That's Football about it. I don't think it really matters about the technology. If you listen to that audio, and I have listened to numerous bits of audio this season from the VAR discussions, it's chaotic. And when it's chaotic, things get missed and miscommunicated, and their protocols are a joke. They were basically saying, when they kicked off, it's onside, we need to stop the game, and they refused to do it because it went against the protocol. The whole thing's a joke. I'm amazed it hasn't happened before. It's an accident waiting to happen. If you listen to that audio, the only thing that surprises me is that it hasn't happened more because there's too many people talking, too many people not listening. It's chaos, absolute chaos. They'd be better off just turning VAR off and going back to what it was like before. Anyway, thank you for that very much for that super chat. Jesus, giving us a bit of information there. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. It's United stand, not LFC stand, says Jordan, which is why, Jordan, I said it impacts all of us because VAR obviously impacts everybody. So that's what I was talking about there. We are the best, Galatasaray, says Fallen. I hope we have got a few Turkish fans involved. You're more than welcome. I think you've got a good team. I'm just not convinced about your collective. I think you've got some good individuals. But I think if you can catch us on the break with Varane, then with Zaha, sorry, and get him up against Delo, it could be quite interesting. Jake says it wasn't that bad before VAR, was it? I remember it being okay. They missed some, but nothing like this. VAR has made it worse. Let the referees referee. I agree with you with that. Thank you very much. There was something I was going to say. Yeah, will Eric Ten Hag hook Marcus for Martial or Garnacho, says Subshock. I think what is happening here, and I'm older than a lot of you, and I've seen a lot of football because I love football, and I've seen most things in football I've seen happen before. So when we're talking about favouritism, this is not new. This isn't new at Manchester United. It's not new at any club. Some managers have favourites, right? And what Ten Hag is doing is, and I predicted it would happen anyway. What Ten Hag is doing is he's sticking with his player. He's sticking with the guy that he worships. He's sticking with his favourite star player. He's sticking with the guy that he's given a massive contract and 350 grand a week to. It's not a surprise that he's sticking with him. And he's sticking with him because he wants it to work. And he's sticking with him because he believes that at some point he will score and Rashford will start playing well, and then he's right. And that's why he keeps him on for as many minutes as he can, because he's keeping him on, waiting for that inevitable goal. And it will come, because Marcus Rashford has scored about 4 goals in his last 25 games. So the law of averages says if you keep playing him, then he will score at some point. And that's what he's doing. And that's Ten Hag's not the first person to do that. Terry Venables, I mean, I'm getting a bit old here. Terry Venables did this with Alan Shearer. Euro 96, Alan Shearer won the Golden Boot, if I recall correctly. He had a brilliant Euro 96. in every England game before that, he was on a barren run. People were saying, drop Shearer, drop him, he's not good enough. And then he suddenly started scoring in the Euros. And that's what managers do with their favourites. They stick with them. And that's all Ten Hag is doing. The big thing is, it can be frustrating because you're like, well, it's not. Would Pep Guardiola do this? He might do it with Haaland, but he would rotate. Mark, do you think Mabry will play centre midfield and Mount on the right, says Faisal? I hope so. I mean, but then I don't know where Mason Mount fits into this team. I really don't know. As soon as we've got a left back fit, then Amrabat's got to go into the midfield. So where does Mount go? And Amrabat, Anthony will go on the right. So I don't know, is the honest answer. Prithvi says, Mark, in cricket with review VAR, we can hear them speaking live and it's very transparent. Why can't we do it here, says Pretty. Mate, if we got to listen to the VAR people live, you'd turn it off. Because all you can hear is, yeah, Jeff, John, yeah, Daz, Don, Dan, Mike, Mick, Johnny. Oh, it's chaotic. It's absolute chaos. I watched the rugby, the Six Nations. It's absolutely spot on the way they do it. I don't always like what they come up with, but it's absolutely spot on. There's too many voices in that VAR room and on the pitch, and it's chaotic. And that's why they keep making so many mistakes, because there's too many cooks spoiling the broth, as they say. Right, anyway, it's match time. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. The officiating we had against Arsenal was dodgy and we didn't want to see it. Seemed like a warning of what was about to come in the Premier League, says Juan. We've had a lot of bad decisions go against us this season. Big up United stand, 1.75 million equals 24 full Old Trafford, says Joseph. It's amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely amazing. And we've got 30,000 people watching at the moment, which is more than 3 times the capacity of Bournemouth. Jacob says, give the ref a mic to the stadium and make him explain decisions. Full transparency like the NFL. Problem is they're scared of accounting, says Jacob. They live in the shadows, mate. They're cowards, basically. They like the power, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with that power. They basically want to officiate from the shadows and not have any accountability. But look, we're here to watch Manchester United. We're not here to talk about that sort of thing. We do have VAR in the Champions League, but I think it's all run a lot better. They're not adding stupid amounts of time on at the end of the game either. So it's a bit of a rest from that. But big game for Ten Hag. I'm going to go with a Man United win. How confident are we? I should do a quick poll here because we're about to start. Have I got time? There's always time. United win, yes or no? That's all I'm going to go. United win, yes or no? Get your vote in. Yeah, they've got Mabry on the right wing. Not so sure about that, really. But it's nice to have the Champions League back at Old Trafford. I like the nights under the light. I've got my Boohoo Man hoodie on. I'm feeling nice and cosy. I feel like I'm getting a bit of COVID. I'm on my Lemsip. I'm all right, but cosy night under the lights. The atmosphere there will be buzzing. This is what it's all about. Contextually, we need to win. Somebody just said there, I can see a draw. Drake says, I'm seeing a draw with lots of goals. Draw's not good enough for us. You look at that league table, we've got 0 points. Copenhagen have got 1. Galatasaray have got 1. If Galatasaray came away from here with a draw, we'd only have 2 home games left. And we can't guarantee we're going to win away. So we need to win. You've got to win your home games in the Champions League group stage. It's not about how we win. We have to win. You have to win your home games. Second thing, one of our home games is Bayern Munich, which we can't guarantee. We're playing Copenhagen on the 24th of October. Let's hope we don't get battered 4-1 like you did, says TK. Yeah, but I qualified from my group, spoiler alert. I'm so worried about the balance, says Phillips. Consequences of losing again tonight, says Matthew. Let's not focus on the negative. Let's focus on the positive. That's what it's all about. And, oh no. Ready, ref? Let's go. I'm ready, ref. Come on. Stop looking at your clock. Clock. We move. There we go. Man United will attack the Stretford end in the second half. City use the same formula. Win at home, draw away, says Vicious. Yes, exactly. It is. 62% of you have gone with the United win. Not as high as you would hope, but I'd like to... You know what? You know what I really would like to see from United, and we'd never see it. A fast start, under the lights, in the Champions League. It was the story of Sir Alex. What are your thoughts on the red card appeal rejected? It's happened to United, so you can relate. It's just bad decision after bad decision, says Nathan. I actually thought they'd stick. I actually thought they'd overturn the Curtis Jones decision, really, because I don't think it was a red. What's your thoughts on the lineup today, Mark, and how confident are you for the match? Says DW. I'm not totally happy with the team, actually. And this is something I don't like as well. When Onana gets the ball, he slows us down massively, doesn't he? He's meant to be an expressive ball player. And I think he slows us down a lot. This team have to perform better. Ten Hag will get lots of backlash, not perform, and that's highly likely, says Jay. But he hopes he's wrong. Well, here's Rasmus. Does well down the left-hand side. He likes to dribble, Rasmus. He does like to dribble, and he's gone past his man. Good play. Lovely play by Rasmus. Oh, what a bit of play by Rasmus that was. Lovely dribbling there. And Bruno should do better. Brilliant, brilliant driving and dribbling there. Love to see it. Love to see it. And Bruno should do better. Oh, fucking hell, Bruno. He should do a lot better. He should do a lot better than that. It's a connection thing. Lovely play by Rasmus, though. It's a foul on Varane. Yeah, I mean, it's his first chance of the game, but it was lovely play by Rasmus, driving forward into the space. I think there will be goals tonight. United have got to get the tempo up. How long will Garnacho stay if he can't get in, says Rennie. Well, yes, it's something to keep an eye on. Bruno was probably in shock by the cross, says Manimal. Exactly. And here is Bruno on the right-hand side. I tell you what, there's a lot of space out there. It's a good start from United. There could be some goals in this game. Rasmus holding it off for Amrabat. Lots of Man United players forward. And now it's Tete. I tell you what, it's a good, nice open game here. There could be goals. Just looking at the shape of United, it looks to me like we're playing... well, it's definitely Mount and Mabry. Bruno's playing on the right. Bruno Fernandes is playing on the right at the moment. Mark, you are a Rasmus rider, says Elsie. No, he's 20 years of age. I think he's a fantastic talent, and I want him to do well. Lots of... we should shout out the Turkish travelling fans as well. They're absolutely buoyant here and loving it. And it's great when you get those atmospheres from travelling fans. Here's this Angelino. I quite like Angelino. I mean, he might have fell off a little bit now, but I quite like him. And that's an interesting ball there. Done well to keep it in. Onana. Misplaced pass. Another one by Mount. Oh my God. He kept it in well. Quite a frantic start here for United. Bruno definitely on the right wing. Well, you know my stance on that. I'm not a big fan of playing your best players out of position. We did it with Rashford at the start of the season, didn't we? But I find it odd that Bruno Fernandes is one of the most creative players in the Premier League, and we put him on the right wing to buy another number 10. That's a bad pass. Rashford's got it. He's going to run at him, but didn't see. Rashford should have had a shout there, to be fair. I don't think that was bad play by Rashford. I think he was looking to be direct, and he didn't get a shout. Well done by Amrabat. It's a very open game, this. I mean, the contrast in this game to Crystal Palace, where obviously Crystal Palace was sitting in deep and looking to counter. Galatasaray, the pitch looks a lot more spacious, doesn't it? What's going on here? Mark, we usually do well in the first 25 minutes, says Christopher. And Joshua says, I really hope everyone backs Rasmus. He's a real Man United striker, but needs our backing. Also, Beth and Adam chatting nonsense about Lindelof in pre-match, says Joshua. Well, no, I like Lindelof. I do like Lindelof, but I would have played Maguire tonight. Everyone knows that. Rasmus means ass mouse in Icelandic, and I cannot get over it, says Iggy. I don't know whether that's true. Well up by Lindelof. I think people have very short memories when it comes to Lindelof, because he was actually brilliant in the game against when he came on against Palace last week. Of course, Zaha used to play for Manchester United. Hi, Mark. I actually believe a hippo would beat a polar bear in a fight. You're wrong, Dav. I mean, I just don't... I'm not getting into this chat tonight because we've got too much going on, but... You are wrong. Apparently it does mean ass mouse. Here's Rashford. Amrabat does well to keep it in. Whips a nice cross in. And Casemiro quick to the ball. Back into Bruno. He needs to go wide. Yeah, Amrabat's there. And tried to get it to Rashford quick, but... United are winning a lot of the second balls here. Casemiro, Delo on the right-hand side. He's going to take on Angelino, and we win a corner. We'll take that. EAFC career mode's back tomorrow afternoon, Manchester United. Looking forward to that. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. To be fair, Mark, you didn't want Onana. You probably struggled to see the benefits he brings, says Mr. BPS. That's bullshit. I didn't want Onana to get dropped tonight for Binder, and I like Onana. And when we bought him, I said I like him and I'll back him. I just wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have sold De Gea. When it became apparent that we were going for Onana and we were going to get rid of De Gea, I absolutely backed Onana because I've always liked him. So stop trying to create some rhetoric that's not true. Oh, Mabry's been broken down here. He's going to have to work really hard, and he's got to be careful. They've broken away Galatasaray. Where's he going to go? Well done, Lindelof. Where's Lindelof's haters there? That's really good tackling because they were breaking away. United did well. Maybe got a bit unlucky with the cross and they broke away. Can you count the Galatasaray players to make sure they don't have an invisible man? It would be a shame if they did, says Joe. Yeah, Zaha was the pass there. I think Hannibal's in the team for his energy. His running stats are incredible. I think the jury's out on what he's like with the ball. I wasn't particularly impressed with him against Palace last week, and he did okay against Burnley. But he's got to do better with the ball today. That's a nice angled ball for Rashford, but the defender's there and want. That's where Rashford's got to do more. I mean, he's offside, but he's favourite to win that. You watch that back. Ricky will be all over it. Well, here you go. Rashford's offside, but he's still favourite to win that ball. How is the right back winning that? You know, he's ahead of him. He's bigger than him. He's got the physicality in Rashford's game is just not there, is it? The determination to win the ball. You know, if that's Harry Kane or that's Zlatan in his day or even a Mo Salah, they'll fight for that ball. He doesn't use any physicality. If hippos, Mark, Google it. Hippos are far stronger, says Kyle. I'm not doing it. Goal kick. Good play, Lindelof and Casemiro. Seeing a lot more high fives tonight. This was fundamental last season. Haven't really seen that at all this season. A lot more high fives, a lot more interaction, especially between Casemiro, Dalot, Lindelof. Good to see. Here we go. Bruno's central here. Now it goes to Mabry. Nice little ball. Rasmus will run it. What's that for a throw in? Welcome to the Members Club, Shahin. Thanks for tuning in. Do you think Jose would do better with this team, says Kubo? I don't think the manager's the problem, so you're asking. I'll tell you what I was asked today, and I will answer this. Mark, try watching in tactical view, says Chris. If Ten Hag got the sack, who would you go for as Man United manager? I was asked this question today, and my initial answer was obvious. I said, well, I don't want Ten Hag to get the sack. I'm not even thinking about it. And they said, Mark, come on. I'm asking a question. If he was to get the sack, who would you go for? And I said, honestly, if Ten Hag walked or got the sack or whatever, and I couldn't stop it, I would probably go for De Zerbi, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure he'd be able to do a good job, but I would probably go for him. Mark, every game this season, Rashford has missed every header and leaves the overhead pass every single time. Extremely concerning, he shows no effort or physical aspect. From Sebastian. What do you think of Zidane as manager, Mark? Too much of a risk, Ryan. Too much of a risk. I think the game we need to score. Like, I know that's so obvious, but we need to start scoring early on in games, because 12 minutes now, and it's the same as Palace, isn't it? You've got to score when you're the home team. Hi Mark, now that you mention it, would Jose have been successful at United if Qatar owners instead of Glazers, even with his defensive style? Says Rooney. I think if you gave Mourinho what Pep's got at any club, I think he'd be successful. I mean, it's hard to say whether he would be now, but I think when he came to United, he would have been. Get the Invisible Man on, says Turd, and Hannibal can be Man United what Xavi is to Barca. Newt, and it's comments like that completely and utterly ruin it. Lovely ball from Bruno to Rashford. He's got to go direct here. He's got to go direct. He's got to pass into Mount. Cut back to Bruno, edge of the box. It was there. Bruno was waiting. He was there waiting, and the pass didn't come. It's got to be Sean Dyche, says the alien. Here's Casemiro. Lovely little dink. Mabry's onside. Terrible bad first touch. Could have been in. I thought he was going to get a shot off. It's now with Rashford. Nice ball into Mabry. Goes for a corner. We're better. It's better. Better. Just that final ball. Mabry here, his first touch, just takes him left. He needed to be right. If we get out of the group, how much further do you think we'll go in the tournament, says Ollie? As I say, next February, hopefully we'll have loads of players back. You don't know who you're going to get in the knockout stage. Here's Bruno. Surely he's going to whip a cross in. Good one, punched away. Need our players to be more committed in the tackles and winning the ball, says SD. Most of them feel fatigued and uninterested in getting the ball. Headed away here by Galatasaray. And they've not really done a lot, Galatasaray. But Casemiro does good there. What's my thought? Well, I'll ask you. What are your thoughts on this first 15 minutes? We're imbalanced. I knew this would happen. Doesn't mean we can't win the game, but we're imbalanced. The left-hand side has got what I would call a very big contrast. You've got the work rate of a midfielder at left back, who isn't naturally good at overlapping. You've got a left winger in Rashford who is a luxury player who will not provide defensive support. Down the right-hand side, you've got Delo, who is the most natural fullback we've got. And then you've got hard work from Bruno, Mabry and Mount, whoever goes on the right-hand side. So we're imbalanced. Good interception by Amrabat. I mean, Amrabat seems to be everywhere. He's just picked that up in the CDM position. Now, you've got to be creating a goal chance from here. Rashford has it on the left. Is he going to shoot? He's got to get rid of that. He does. It's not a great pass to Amrabat, but from positions like this, we should have been creating a goal-scoring opportunity, and it peters out. Good play by Casemiro, giving a foul. I reckon Rooney is a future United manager. He seems to have the brains for it, says Rory. I think we'll take that as a joke. Rashford and Bruno don't benefit from the way Erik Ten Hag wants to play. They're counter-attacking players. Another stubborn manager they will get rid of, says Paolo. Come on, Reds. Love the show, Mark, says Daniel Starr. Give us your thoughts on United's start. Jesus has scored for Arsenal. They're away to Racing Club. Flashed up on the screen. Time for a stretch. I don't think I've had a stretch in an hour. Oh, I think I'll have a little walk as well. Round. Watch the wires. That's not a dance. That's just me stretching out my back. Oh, Rashford's in here down the right-hand side. I need to stand up more. Goal! What a goal that is! I do need to stand up more. That's an absolutely cracking goal. Marcus Rashford with the cross. Rasmus with his second goal in 2 games. Rasmus. That's absolutely fantastic from Manchester United. I tell you what, more of that and we'll be fine. Rashford down the right-hand side. What a surprise. Right-footed natural cross onto Rasmus Højlund with a diving header. Second goal in the Champions League. Watch this. Lindelof. Casemiro. Rashford stays onside this time in the right-hand side position. It's intelligent the way he's switched. But look, he can't do this off the left-hand side. He can't put that cross. A great goal. That is a great goal, you know. That is an absolutely fantastic goal. What a goal that is. Superb. What a goal. Lovely cross. What a header. Magnificent. Put him on his natural side. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's a great goal. It's so good. I don't know why people are saying offside. It's not offside. You can tell. Mark, if this is what happens when you stand up, then we will need you to start doing jumping jacks around the chair, says Ben. I'm claiming an offside. I'm not claiming an offside. I'm claiming an assist on that one. Yeah, I love that. You know, I love that goal. It's just so. It's so what we want to be about, isn't it? That goal is just so good. And you know, people criticise Rashford, and he deserves the criticism. But I like him, and to me, there's nothing better than a player who is right-footed on the right-hand side. Like if Rashford's got that on the left-hand side, he cannot create that chance, and that's what I mean. That goal, as great as it is a rarity, because how many times is Rashford on the right-hand side? Not very often. And how many times have we spoken about you've got to give the service to Rasmus? And that service is exactly the service he needs. But the scary thing is, Anthony can't put that cross in because he's left-footed, and Rashford can't put that cross in off the other side. And I just think maybe there's a world where Marcus Rashford plays off the right. Rashford actually looked up before the pass, says Desmond. Well, the reason he looked up is on the left-hand side, he wants to cut in and shoot on his strong foot. But on the right-hand side, he can't shoot. So he's got to look for the cross. I'd love to see that more often, because that's how you provide service for your striker. But when you've got inverted wingers, i.e. left footers on the right and right footers on the left, you don't get those natural crosses. And we need that. If you could have predicted how our summer window went and how little we'd spend, who you got that was available for free to boost the squad, says Mike. Well, we tried to get, what's his name, didn't we? Rabiot. Casemiro, Ricky, show us McTominay do that, says Desert Hunter. Rasmus is in again. Oh, I thought he was going to round the keeper. There's goals here tonight. Massive respect to Rashford. He put it right on Højlund's forehead. We give him stick, but we must praise him when it works, says Peake. Exactly. Eric's more active today. Reminds me of last season, says Elvin. There does seem to be a bit of last season to this United side. It's interesting because, I mean, I predicted we'd win before the game anyway. But what did I say 10 minutes ago? I noticed Casemiro, high-fiving Lindelof. Dalot doing it the same. We haven't seen that real sort of camaraderie and togetherness much this season, and to me that's encouraging. But one thing I would say is that I don't think Brentford will give us this much space on Saturday, and Crystal Palace certainly didn't give us this much space either. Galatasaray playing very, very open football at Old Trafford, and I don't think there's ever been a problem with Man United playing against the team. Look, it's 4v4 without much work. Like, they're not protecting their back four, Galatasaray, at all, and I don't care what people think about United. I guarantee you, if we play against teams like this every week in the Premier League, we'd get the same sort of football. The problem we have is against teams that, they're basically playing a front three here. Against Palace, they'd all be on the halfway line. It's the low block we struggle against. When we're playing in a game like this, there will be goals. All the players need to be able to use both feet. Drives me crazy how one-footed players are, says Rory C. Does GS look like they stand a chance? The broadcaster in Turkey is down, so we can't watch it, says Yilmaz. Oh, yeah. I think you've come to have a go, mate. You've come to... oh, my God. Fucking hell. I can't... So it's Zaha who scores, and it's just absolutely shit. It's defensively rubbish. It bounces more than a bloody table tennis ball. It's just absolutely crap. It's rubbish. We get screwed so much defensively. If you go on Pornhub, there's actually a category now, after amateur, Manchester United. We get screwed so much of conceding crappy goals from behind. I've got to say that is just shockingly bad defending. Dalot's been muscled out of that, and I don't know what. And it's Man United again, isn't it? It's just, as I say, screwed from behind as per usual. Check us out on Pornhub. Category Manchester United. Screwed from behind again. But shockingly bad defending again. And here's a question for you. What's the gap between the goals? The stats are quite interesting. 50-50. It's a close game when you look at that. Our passing accuracy is shit as well. 75%. Well done, Varane. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we had the Galatasaray fans saying that the TV was down. How were they doing? And I think Galatasaray have come here and played very open. Like, they remind me of like a Liverpool or a Man City. They've come here or an Arsenal. They've come here and played very open. Like, you can get at their back four way easier than you normally would. Like, as I say, we played Crystal Palace on Saturday. 2 banks of 4, very, very defensive, low block, counter-attack. Galatasaray are not playing defensive football here, which plays into our hands. We should be picking them off. Hamlet says, how does Onana not save that? I mean, I'd have to speak to Ben Foster about that. I don't know. It looks to me like he's taken a bad position and he's dived too late, but he does dive backwards. I've said it before, our entire team is physically weak. They all get bullied off the ball way too easily. Now let's see if the heads drop, says it's Mark. Look, on the goal, let's be absolutely honest here. You know, it ain't Lindelof's fault, it ain't Amrabat's fault, and it ain't Varane's fault. It's got nothing to do with any of those players. Dalot's got to be stronger with Zaha, and I think some people are going to be questioning Onana. The rate they score immediately after we score, says Christopher D. See, I never thought I'd be looking at it and going, Harry Maguire should have started that game. I really, really think Dalot left back, Lindelof right back, Maguire and Varane was the way to go tonight. Get some balance, get Amrabat in the midfield. Here's Rashford. Oh, his wave play on. Ooh, deflection from Casemiro. Corner. There'll be more goals in the game. There'll be more goals in the game. Definitely. I don't know why the referee didn't give a foul to us or them there. To not give a foul either way was quite ridiculous. I think it might have been a foul on Rashford, and it was certainly a foul on Torreira. Just check to Man United are not on Pornhub, says Andrew Potter. "6 minutes," says David, between us scoring and them scoring. It's a mentality thing. Mentality of this team is weak. I'm going to stand up again in a minute. Would you agree Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a bigger loss than Martinez with the way Lindelof is playing and the way Dalot is playing, says Sean Turner? No, because you know what? Dalot's made a mistake on that goal and people will crucify him for it. But actually, Dalot got man of the match at the weekend against Palace and actually has been quite steady. It's just mythical that people will say Dalot is a problem because he's at fault for the goal. But Dalot has actually done quite well in the last few games. Welcome to the Numbers Club, Ness. Thank you very much. We've lost the fighting spirit, players, and are now a bunch of egos. Sir Alex was all about fighting spirit. I don't see players caring anymore, says Stig. I don't know. I don't know whether Onana's at fault for that. I'll have to watch it again at half time. I don't know. It's just a crappy goal to concede, but maybe he never really had a chance of doing anything about it. I mean, at the end of the day, all I can see from Onana is that when it bounces up over his head, he does dive backwards as much as he can do. But whether his initial position is just a little bit... I don't know. I spend a lot of time talking to Ben Foster. I just wonder whether he would say his starting position is wrong. He's either got to come closer and clear it out or hold his position a little bit. These days, Old Trafford is more like the theatre of nightmares and broken dreams instead of the theatre of dreams, says Mark B. Well, obviously, Galatasaray are growing in confidence here. Good play by Rasmus. I mean, he's had a good game. Very good. Switches it. I'll tell you what, Rasmus for me has been absolutely brilliant when he's got on the ball. Now, Rashford with space into Amrabat. That's a good bit of play. That's good. That's good. I'll tell you what, I'm liking Rashford passing the ball more tonight. I am liking Rashford passing the ball tonight. And that's a good cutback by Amrabat. Mount nearly scored. Let's see what happens with the corner. Rashford on the edge of the box. Bit of skill. Bit of skill, gets tackled. A little bit too much. You see, that's a corner, Marcus. You see, I'm praising you there for getting rid of the ball quicker. And he then takes from the corner and tries and takes everybody on again. Bruno plays best on the wing. Buy a new midfielder, says Maboy. What right back do you prefer, Mark? Wan-Bissaka or Delo, says Ross. And Brennan, thank you very much for your chat. I think Wan-Bissaka and Delo have their strengths and weaknesses, but unfortunately, not unfortunately. I think you've got to go Wan-Bissaka because he's defensively more suitable. But you want a mixture of both. I'm a teacher and I'm afraid of going to school the day after the United games to be roasted by a bunch of kids because our team can't perform, says Ads. And really love the look of Rasmus, excited for the future. Mount has been good, but don't get why he's here. And Arda just doesn't give me any confidence, says Daniel Luciano. Thank you very much. Here's United down the right side. Bruno, lovely ball into Rashford. Lets it go. Rasmus, unlucky. Thank you, Mark, for making the good times and the bad times always better. Come on, United, to Xander. There's more goals in this game. We just need to get them. Anana comes forward to close the space and make himself big, and then the deflection sends it over him. I don't think there's much he could do, says Liam. I need to look at it at half-time because I'm sort of with you on that. This keeper is single-handedly going to knock us out of every competition. He spends 90 minutes off his line requesting an R1 and 0 chip from the opponent, says Jake. We've got a yellow card here for Galatasaray. Torreira. Can't wait to see Amrabat in central midfield, says DJ. I mean, Casemiro's... What's Casemiro doing here? I mean, I think in the Premier League, this could have been a red for Torreira. Yeah? I'll tell you what, I think in the Prem, that's a red. Studs are up. Do they review here? That's a red in the Prem. It's a Studs tackle. You know, I think Curtis Jones's tackle at the weekend was unlucky because there wasn't any intent with Studs. He's gone there with his Studs up. That's a red card. Mark, I know Rashi gave an assist and he's passing more, but he's still a hard watch. Dribbles too much into players and takes way too long, says Wan. A few people saying it's not a red. Okay, well, we're all entitled to an opinion. That's the beauty of football. But his tackle is like that with his studs stamping down. So for me, it would be a red in the Prem. A manager's job is to set the team up for success. The players have to execute it. Too many wrong decisions and individual mistakes. It's not Ten Hag's fault, says Kizza. Look, the goal's a setback. But I think there's more goals for United because Galatasaray are playing way more attacking than I would have expected. Possibly because they can't defend. I don't know, but it's very rare to see a team come into Old Trafford and play as open as this. We need to exploit that, especially in the second half. Bruno's been a shadow of himself. So has Rashford. Casemiro has been average. Reguilon has given his all. So has Garnacho, and he's an impactful player. I want to support Erik Ten Hag, but stop with the favourites, says Attaché. Bet you a fiver, we won't need those spare boots, says Matt. And that's the same tackle as Curtis Jones, the inconsistency again. Well, it's a different tournament, Mitch, to be honest. The bounce from Zaha, absolutely wrong foot sim, says Alex. We need to get Amrabat in the midfield ASAP. Well, I agree with that. Remember, we've only had 33 minutes here. Well, here's a novel concept. If Amrabat's going to be so good in the midfield and Bruno's better at number 10 and we're not playing them in either position, then we're treading water, aren't we? Like, we're never going to really know what we're all about until... How has he booked Casemiro for that? So, Torreira gets a yellow card for a studs-up tackle, and Casemiro gets a yellow card for a high foot where he can't see the player coming towards it to try and head it. Maybe the officiating ain't better. Right, time for a stretch. We might score here. I'll I'll try and elongate the walk a little. You know, I nearly tripped over a wire. Try the same thing again. Little bit of a back stretch. Come on, United. Second time lucky. I've not sat down yet. Still not sat down yet. Well, I'm going to sit down now. Casemiro needs to be careful on a yellow. Hannibal doesn't provide the passing option to Casemiro. He just runs a lot. Also, let's not forget Højlund scores all the chances he gets provided, says Shahin. And we don't keep the ball well enough. Keep doing flicks and kicking it long. Do you think it's a tactical thing, or are the players not patient enough, says Adam? Well, I don't think Erik ten Hag would tell them to go out there and do loads of flicks and, you know, not be confident in possession. I don't really think that's what they would do. I'd be very concerned about Casemiro and Torreira. Well, I'm not concerned about Torreira, but I'd be very concerned as a Man United fan with Casemiro on a yellow card. We all know that's a problem. I mean, hopefully Torreira gets the second yellow and we build on it. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're live every morning at 10 o'clock, every evening at 8 o'clock. Get involved with the United Stand. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe for you. Thank you very much, everyone tuning in. Still 10 minutes to go to half-time. I mean, Galatasaray, to their credit, and I'm sort of saying it from a way of watchability, I really like the fact that they've played so open at Old Trafford. It's, you know, it's a much better game than Palace, where it's just defence against attack. Enjoyable to see a team come here and just, you know, attack. He's trying to get Delo booked here. I think he's going to get... Oh, he is going to book him. Delo's going to get booked. That's not what you want to see. Very clever by Zaha. Pretty sure that would have been a tactic from the very start. Try and get the situation where... I mean, he gets the ball. Are they going to show it again, or can I see it in a slow-mo? Oh, I'm going to see it in a slow-mo. Right, okay. I just want to watch this again. I'm pretty convinced he gets the ball here. Watch it again. Here we go. That's not a foul. He gets the ball. It's a very good slide tackle. I just don't think you can do that in Europe anymore. Galatasaray on the attack. Mark, are you... Ryan not answering that. Casemiro is a bit of a liability. Can't get through half of football without picking up that yellow, says Skin. I also think it's because he's the only combative midfielder. Bruno's not a tackler. Mabry's not a tackler. Mount's not a tackler. So when you've only got one enforcer on the pitch, I think it's inevitable that they pick up a lot of yellow cards. Be sure to do the hammies and groin with shorts, please, says Rory C. And yeah, thank you for that. Hannibal's a tackler, apparently, says Ryan. Well, I don't really notice it as much. Here's Amrabat. I mean, we need Amrabat in the midfield. Desperately need Amrabat in the midfield. So we've got Delo on a yellow card against Zaha, which worries me. We got Casemiro on a yellow card. I think Mabry's going to be on a yellow card. Maybe? No. I think he's going to get away with it. Mark, what is wrong, says Des. Weird super chat there. How the fuck is Mount our number 7? Awful, says account. Well, Mount's an interesting one because somebody said before, I don't dislike him. I just don't know why we bought him. And I think that's going to be the question until we realise. Like, Ten Hag really wanted him. He's obsessed with him. Did we need him? You know, Bruno's playing on the right wing. You know, our number 10 and captain is on the right wing so that Bruno Fernandes, so that Mason Mount can play in the midfield. Mark, Delo wasn't booked. It was a Galatasaray manager, says Dave. Good. Good. We don't want to see that. That's a good bit of news because we don't want to see Delo on a yellow card. Just a confirmation of that. No, he was booked. You bloody prat. He was booked. Mark, thank you very much for your super chat. Sorry, what is wrong with the tactics, says Des. Oh, I thought there was something wrong with me. Who has disappointed you most this season so far, says Andrew. That's a good question. You can answer that in the chat. And Metal Arakid is a new member of the club. Did we really buy Onana just to boot the ball on? What's even the point of that, says Les. Look, I think at the moment there's going to be a lot of questions about Onana. There's going to be a lot of questions about Mason Mount because things aren't going well and we spent £100 million on two players that at the moment it just seems a little bit of a mystery why we bought them. With Rasmus, you know, we know why we bought him. We need a striker. But there's Rashford, weak. Did we... Okay, they're in the box here. Good play by Amrabat. Mark, are Leeds a top 10 English club, says Taylor. You're in the Championship, mate. You can't be in the top 10. Am I the only one who was disappointed Garnacho is on the bench? What more does he need to start? Liam, if you tuned in early, you'd know I was not happy about that. Do you think Eric Ten Hag knows Bruno doesn't play well in this system and bought Mount to transition Bruno out in the future, says Phillips? Didn't we just give Bruno a massive new contract? Mark, what's the point of watching, says Mohammed? It's called supporting your team, mate. Look. Good play by Mount. Now Mabry into Delo. He's done well. That's got to be a yellow card. What? What is this referee on? He's saying he got the ball. I mean, to me, that looks like a foul. Let's have a look. He does actually get a bit of the ball, to be fair. He does get a bit of the ball. What are the tactics was the question I was going to come back to, and what player has disappointed me most this season? I'd say the disappointments for me are probably the players that I like. So Rashford and Bruno have been the most disappointing players for me this season. I had both in my fantasy Premier League team, and have got rid of both of them, and that's ridiculous for a Manchester United fan. I really like those two players, and having to get rid of them is disappointing. So I'd say those two. Here's Rashford in a 1v1. What's he got? Good cross. This is a goal. Blocked. Oh, Mount. He can't believe it. He can't find the back of the net, Mount, at the moment. He had a good header against Palace at the weekend. He's had 2 cutbacks today. There's a crowd in the way. Oh, he hits Mabry. He hits Mabry. He doesn't hit the defender. Side netting shot there. I presume that's Rashford. It was Mabry. Why can't Mount play on the wing and Bruno midfield, says Nick. Look, I'm just going to say this, right? Tactics is the next question. David De Gea last season had a very good season. Whether you like him or not, he had a good season. Replaced by Onana. Bruno Fernandes last season had a very good season. Replaced by Mason Mount. £100 million spent. Did we need to spend £100 million replacing De Gea and Bruno for Mount and Onana? Is the team balanced? as it was last year? No. Do we look like a brand new team trying to learn about each other? Yes. So I think that the way United are playing at the moment is that it's almost like we're a new team, and some of Ten Hag's signings right now do seem a little bit strange when the money could have been spent elsewhere. But in the long term, let's hope it works. Amrabat in the midfield is a must, says Biffa. Seems to read the game so well. And this is something this is something I'd be critical about tactically as well, Biffa. Bruno's best position is number 10, right wing. Start of the season, Rashford's best position is on the wing, up front. Amrabat's best position, midfield, left back. Now, some would say, well, you know, we've got no fit left back. But we all know how we could have done that today. Like, if Amrabat is so important to Ten Hag in the midfield, why is he playing him at left back? Doesn't have to put him at left back. If Amrabat is so important to Ten Hag in the midfield, then he should be playing in the midfield. Because as we know, you could play Maguire and Varane, Lindelof at right back and Dalot at left back. So, you know, he's got to put him in the midfield, but he doesn't seem to want to do it. Oh, here we go. Galatasaray. What is Onana doing there? We are not a football team. This team should be in an NBA, says Aditya. And Mark, we need to get Ricky in as Ten Hag's number 2. I think it would be box office, says Anthony. I don't think they get on. Hannibal is a regen of Chong, says Terry. Or Chong was a winger. And don't know what game everyone watching, but Mount has been miles better than Bruno, says Hussein. Well, yeah, because Mount's playing in fucking centre midfield, isn't he? He doesn't have to go and play on the left wing or the right wing. He's the golden child, isn't he? Bruno's playing on the fucking right. He's playing on the left. Mount just gets to play centre midfield every week. What changes would you make at half-time, Mally? Well, I'd take Mason Mount off. I'd put Bruno in the middle. I'd put Amrabat in the middle. I'd put Maguire at centre-back. I'd put Dalot at left-back. And I'd put Lindelof at right-back. I'd do what needs to be done to get Amrabat in the midfield. Because this is scrappy. I mean, we may well end up winning it, but it's a scrappy performance. It's not. There's no fluidity again, is there? It's scrappy. And the way Galatasaray are playing, they're playing so open. I tell you what, if Galatasaray were playing Liverpool or Spurs or Arsenal or Brighton, I reckon they'd be 3 down. They're so open. Any team that's got Villa would beat them as well. Any team that's got some fluidity and cohesion would pass their way through them. There's so much space out there. Here we go. Bruno, what we got? Cross, not good enough. Mark, can you say MJ is getting retired on the 19th, says SD. We should buy 5 Amrabats. He's playing everywhere anyway. Putting in more effort than Mount and Bruno, says SD. Onana is not our problem. He has to go long because no one is coming to collect the ball, says Aka. And Mark, why don't Garnacho and Reguilon start when they give their all, but Rashi starts every game, even if you don't perform? I love Rashford, but bench him, says Attaché. Well, we're nearly at half-time here. And a bit late there from Mount. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, you're all welcome. And I think that's going to be not offside. That's going to be half-time. So 1-1 Manchester United and Galatasaray at half-time. Yeah, I think it's been typical of Manchester United's season thus far, hasn't it? In the sense that we are... You know, we score there's a moment where we score a really good goal. And then there's that... Mark, I mean, yeah, we score a really good goal. Galatasaray are playing really open. And you think, let's go and get the second goal and kill the game. And then we go and concede a really sloppy goal and the heads drop again. And there's not a lot really more that you can say than that, is there? It's standard Manchester United. When things go wrong, and we had the leak in the press this week again, didn't we? Ten Hag is concerned about this team when things go wrong. And lo and behold, we score the goal. It's a good goal. There's a lot of reason to be positive and praiseworthy. Rashford's in a good position, gets his head up, lovely cross, lovely finish by Rasmus. Every reason for the fans to go, we want to see more of that. That's really, really good. 6 minutes later, we concede, and then we spend the next 15 minutes looking like a bunch of misfits. And time and time again, it happens. We concede a goal, lose all composure, lose all confidence. I mean, the mentality of this team is brittle. It's like a poppadom. It doesn't take much to crack. And it's tiring to keep saying it, but it's obvious. I mean, if I was on that pitch for Manchester United, considering the Crystal Palace game at the weekend and the Burnley game the week before, where you're playing against 2 low blocks and it's hard to get chances, this is a team that's come to Old Trafford open-minded and there's space everywhere. And I'd be like, bloody hell, this is not like Palace at the weekend. There's so much space. Let's pass, let's move. We'll create chances. How many chances have we actually created, really? I think we've had 2 shots on target, 7 shots. I mean, that's quite a lot for United, but I reckon we should have had 10 shots. But, it's the same old story, isn't it? We're playing against a team where there's a lot of space and still we can't find any fluidity. How are people watching this game complaining about Mount, says Joseph. You want to risk all our centre-backs when we have a shortage just to play Amrabat in the midfield. Clueless tactically, says Red. What am I keeping them back for, mate? Sheffield United after the international break? You're clueless. So I'm now resting centre-backs in case they get injured. What's bigger than Galatasaray at home in the Champions League? Like, we literally have to win. Amrabat should be playing in the midfield. I don't care how we do it. We should have Amrabat in the midfield. I still think we'll find a win because I think the way that Galatasaray are playing, it's there. But look at the stats. 53% possession to 47. That's not good enough at home. 7 shots to 4 is slightly in our favour. Total passes is too close. Pass completion is shit. 77% at home when there's that much space is appalling. And it's normally higher. That game's too close for me. I mean, it's too close in scoreline, but it's too close in stats as well. We should be looking after the ball a lot better. And if we did that, we'd have more control of the game. Would I make any changes at half-time? Yes. My change at half-time would be to put Amrabat into the midfield. And however we do that, I would do that. There's a number of ways of doing it. Maguire on, centre-back, shift Lindelof right-back, Delo left-back. Which might be a good idea anyway, because Zaha has him on toast and he's on a yellow card. Small thing, but why is Bruno still taking corners? Let Onana take them. Same result, we never score from Bruno taking them, says Sean Thornton. Mount's probably been man of the match first. Somebody said to me, here's a question for you now. Somebody said to me the other day that the last free kick we scored was Ronaldo. That can't be right. But I couldn't think who it was. Mount's probably been man of the match first half. A bit unfair to take him off. Bruno's been horrible for too long, so he could come off instead of Garnacho, says Zanny. So Jim Radcliffe bid is a tender offer. The only way it works is if the Glazers legit think they can raise the value of the club to more than 6 billion, and it's not happening, says Club. Amrabat is being given too much to do, but he definitely has the right mentality to never give up, says Martin. You need players like that in your midfield. There's no point in having your best player at left back. He's out of the game. He needs to play centre midfield. Maybe and Mount have been better than Bruno, says Hussein. Mate, I think we're arguing. If I'm going to be blunt, we're arguing about different shades of shit here. Like, we're 1-1 against Galatasaray, and there's more space out there than we've seen all season. And you're splitting hairs about who's been better, Mount, Mabry, or Bruno. If you want to take Bruno off, I don't care. But we are not controlling that game, and that is an embarrassment because we are at home. I don't think their midfield is particularly good. It's not where their strength is. And we should be controlling that game. Mabry runs around a lot. Mount runs around a lot. Bruno runs around a lot. But where's the control? As somebody said in the first half, we just seem to be a team of flicks and misplaced passes. And that's reflected in the stats. Until the Glazers are here, Chaos FC. This has been my conclusion for the past 4 or 5 years. Chaos style of play. Keep up the good work, Mark, says Bruno. Andy Weatherall, I hope you're doing well, Andy. He's gifted a membership. And also, Mark, apart from the Glazers, what one thing would you change at Manchester United as United Ballers FC? One thing? Well, the only one thing to change at Manchester United is the Glazers. I mean, if I change one thing that's not the Glazers, it's not going to make any impact. because there's so much wrong. Why the hell is Hannibal laughing and joking with Zaha when they're walking off at half-time? Some of these players just don't care, says Declan. I saw it, Declan, and to be honest with you, I never even registered any dissatisfaction to it, because that's just the modern footballer. For all I know, maybe he might be playing on the same team as Zaha on pro clubs. It's just the modern footballer. They live in a bubble, and it's not the same as it used to be. Eric Ten Hag's signings aren't weird. What is weird is that he expected the United board having the ability to sell players. If we'd sold more, we'd have bought more, says Niki. Thank you very much for that. Don't forget, by the way, we are sponsored by Boohoo Man, who are sponsoring the stream, as I said. Boohoo Man clothing. I'm wearing my lovely fleece-lined hoodie. I love it. Cotton on the outside, fleeced on the inside. Lovely, lovely stuff. And you can get 40% off by scanning that QR code on your camera phone or going through the link in the description. Use the code Goldbridge. Kit yourself out. Gym wear, five-a-side wear, lounge wear. They've got the lot. Coats, jackets, everything. 40% off at Boohoo Man, delivered to your door. The code is Goldbridge. Thank you very much to Boohoo Man for that. They're going to show the goal that I've just seen the Hoyland goal. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. But they're going to show the goal we conceded now. Amrabat is giving me Herrera vibes. Can't believe it took us this long to replace him. Sums up this club, says Jack. And if we draw this and you're not Ten Hag out, sorry, but you're an enemy of the club, says Phil. You're talking out your arse. So it's a long ball. You know what? If I'm being completely honest, I think you've got to look at Varane a little bit. No, all right. He's not Peter Crouch. I thought Varane might be responsible, but it's over Varane's head, so it's not Varane's responsibility. Dalot needs to go and win the ball here. Every other United content creator is jealous of you because you are the best, says Partip. Well, I think they imitate as well. Yeah, it's not Varane's fault. The ball's too high. Dalot's got to be a lot stronger. And in fairness to Onana, I don't think Onana's at fault there. I don't think Onana's at fault there. I know it's easy to get in on him, but I don't think Onana's at fault there, because at the end of the day, what more can Onana do? Like, Dalot's got to be stronger. Zaha gets the shot off. It deflects off Dalot and bounces up. I don't see what Onana is supposed to do in that situation. Once the shot is off, the deflection's going to kill him. So I don't think Onana's at fault there, to be honest. I think you're clutching at straws. Bailey says, should have Onana have done better there? But what do you want him to do? I don't know what you want him to do, because should he come and get the ball? Should he take a higher position? Is that not what a sweeper keeper is? Should he be on to that longer ball? I don't think so. Should he be stood on his line at that situation? That would be odd. When the shot's taken, it's deflected. I don't really think, logically, there's a lot he can do there. Mark, wouldn't it be better to play Amrabat at right back rather than left back, says Life with Goldbridge? Probably. We're crap, Mark, says Riker, and the system doesn't work and the passing is poor, says St. Baines. Yes, well, if you've seen the stats carousel, which I'll whack up on the screen there, it doesn't make for good reading. What about any other changes, Mark? Well, look, I'd try and get it as close to the team that I've predicted he would pick with... I mean, look, Rashford. What do you think about Rashford? He's created a goal from the right-hand side, and he's never really on the right-hand side. So has Rashford had a good game? He's released the ball quicker, but on the left-hand side, I think it's been much the same. When he went to the right-hand side, it's a big moment. So can we get him on the right-hand side more? Well, he doesn't want to play on the right-hand side. Well, I want him to play on the right-hand side. I think Rashford on the right and Garnacho on the left against this... That's what I would do, actually. You know what? I'd make the change at half-time. Garnacho on the left, Rashford on the right. Galatasaray are playing really open. They're playing with two wingers. Why are we at Old Trafford playing with one winger? Like, they have come to Manchester. They are playing open. You can get at their back four with one pass. They're not playing two banks of four. They're playing very, very expansively. And we're playing with a midfielder on the right wing. Like, literally, put Rashford on the right, Garnacho on the left, and let's have a little bit more directness. Because if we're being honest, we're imbalanced, aren't we? You've got a winger on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, it might be Mabry, it might be Bruno. And they're not naturally wingers, so there's no pace on that side. There's no threat on that side. Angelino's quite mobile. So the minute Rashford goes on the right-hand side, he got a bit of pace, we get a chance. So put Rashford on the right, Garnacho on the left. They've got 2 wingers, and they're the away team. Mark, I've noticed Amrabat is actually starting at left-back, but is inverting into the midfield in attack. So he is in the midfield and goes back to left-back in defence to keep the shape, says Harrison. Yeah, I have seen that a lot, but how nice would it be if his position actually was centre midfield? Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. You're all very, very welcome. And thanks, everybody. Can I just shout everybody out for listening to the podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football? It's my new podcast. It comes out every Tuesday and Friday morning. Out this morning. Thank you for everyone who's been listening to it. It's doing really, really well and growing very, very well. So please do give it a listen. Goldbridge Saves Football. Go and search it out and give it a download. Just a personal shout out for everybody there. Please do subscribe as well to this channel, bottom right hand corner. Straight after the game, we've got my match reaction where we'll do player ratings. You can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. The most interactive match reaction show in the world. And then straight after that, we're into the fan forum as well, where obviously we're live in the studio in Manchester. So lots to cover after this game. Which way do I think it's going to go? It has to go our way. It has to go our way. They are currently and would be ahead of us if we drew this game. They got a point against Copenhagen. We didn't get anything against Bayern Munich, as we know. So we have to win this game. The traditional way to qualify to the knockout stage of the Champions League is 10 points. 3 home wins and a draw. We've got to play Bayern Munich at home, which I don't think is a guaranteed win. So if we don't beat Galatasaray and Copenhagen at home, I think it's Thursday night football at best. So we've got to win. Like, it's not... There seems to be an apathy around United. There seems to be an acceptance of not being good enough around United. And in this second half, we've got to fucking win. Like, there has to be a bit of urgency. There has to be a bit of, drive. I mean, and also when you look at Galatasaray, that goal's deflected in. Has Onana had any other save to make? This game is 3 points. This game is a win. There's nothing in that 45 minutes that doesn't tell me that this is a win. So if we don't win it, it's a huge kick in the nuts. Mark, wish my team Thamesmead FC good luck in our first season playing in the Bromley and South London League. It would mean a lot, says United Ballers FC. Big shout out to Thamesmead FC. You know I love me football, and hope it goes well, mates. We don't have enough control of the game at all. Amrabat must play midfield. Bruno just whips the ball forward, not even looking, says Kenny. Our defensive record at this stage last year, and this Eriksen's coming on, is very similar. Same clean sheet, says Og. Love the show, Mark. Thank you for everything you do and for making watching Man United games so entertaining, says Dan. So, guesses who's coming on? It's going to be Mabry off, surely. Well, it makes sense a little bit because there's so much space in that team, and somebody who can pass the ball, he must be, in fairness to Ten Hag, he must be thinking exactly the same things that we're thinking about, because he needs to get some control of the ball. So Mabry off at half time. About to kick off for the second half here. I imagine the comments will be awash with why is Mabry coming off and not Bruno. It's the F word, isn't it? Favouritism. It's the same reason Garnacho doesn't start and Rashford does. Certain players will not get subbed, and I don't. As much as I like Bruno and as much as I like Rashford, it's not a healthy environment to have players who will get picked no matter what they do. It wouldn't happen at Man City. Pep Guardiola will not pick players when they're not playing well, no matter who they are. Ten Hag will. Jurgen Klopp. Mabry was not on a yellow card, I don't think. I've got no problem with Eriksen coming on. I think actually there's so much space out there. He might, we need a player who can get a foot on the ball because the passing accuracy is shit. But whether he's took the right player off or not, we will have to wait and see. Mabry was not on a yellow card. It's Dalot and Casemiro. Here we go. Amrabat in an overlapping position. Whips across him with his left foot. Right, attack. Look, bottom line now. Get the game won. We can analyse and pick apart the tactics and the game afterwards. But the main part now is get the game won. Lovely no-look pass by Amrabat into Rashford. Tackled. Nice bit of skill by Rashford there. Cross comes in. Not good enough. Angelino too quick on Bruno. You see, that's where you miss a winger, because Angelino has left Bruno there too easily. Doesn't work. Doesn't work having these midfielders on the wing. It's a left-back's free meal. You know, a left back is combative and quick. You put them up against a midfielder, they're gonna eat it up all the time. Do you think we'll lose marks as Daz? No, I think. Well, what I will say, Daz, is I don't confidently predict any win from United these days, and nobody would. But Mount's gone down injured there. Good block by Lindelof. Nothing would surprise me with United, but we do have to win. Why is Hannibal off, says Jenks. That's the substitution made. I'll tell you what, we're lucky there, because that had gone to Tetty. I think they might have scored. I'm getting a bit of a cold, you know. A lot of COVID going around the UK at the moment. I like this time of year, but I also think you get ill a lot this time of year. Yeah, if I was managing Galatasaray, I would be telling my team to pass the ball a little bit more carefully and exploit the left-hand side. Because Deleu's on a fucking yellow card and Bruno is slow. And we've got Angelino and Zaha. So I'd be looking to get down that left-hand side as much as possible. Ineos products recently been sold by retailers like Asda. Is this something to do with Sir Jim's bid of United and product promotion, says Dibsy? Don't know. Bad sub. Casemiro is going to get isolated in the midfield, says Dibsy. And here we go. Ball to the left-hand side. Lovely ball into the box. Don't let him get a shot off. Icardi's been very quiet. I think that Lindelof and Varane have actually had good games. Nick says he had to put Amrabat in the midfield for me. Do you think Højlund would be a slow burner or another Weghorst, says Atasha? Mate, he's got 2 goals in 2 games in the Champions League. That's nothing to sniff at. I mean, how many chances has he had, Højlund? He's had 1 shot today. So I don't think Rasmus is doing anything wrong. He's 20 years of age. He's a developmental striker, and he scored 2 goals in 2 games in the Premier tournament in club football. You can't score more goals if you don't get more chances. So what about Galatasaray? They're very mobile in their midfield, aren't they? I'm loving how Rasmus carries the ball, says Muff. I liked that. That happened in the first couple of minutes, didn't it? I'd like to see that happen more. If we could get him, if we can get the ball into his feet and let him turn. I can tell you what we've brought Eriksen on for, though. We've brought Eriksen on for some control. Try and get some control. Get the passing accuracy up. Here we go. That's a lovely ball by Eriksen. Talk about control. Bruno, what are you going to do? Cuts inside from 30 yards on his left foot and shoots. You know, Rashford gets shit for that. It's just a waste. It's a goal kick to the opposition. You know, Eriksen's actually done really well to get us in the final third with options, and then someone just shoots. That's why we don't create many chances, by the way. In an absolute example, that's why we don't create many chances. We get into a good position, people are making lots of runs, and then someone cuts inside from 30 yards and shoots off their weaker foot. I mean, the chances of that going in will be less than 3%. So what do? Do you take a shot where you've got less than 3% of scoring, or do you keep possession? No, we have a shot, and we do it all the fucking time. Mark, my mate Dave doesn't like football. Is he a plonker, says Alan. I don't really trust men who don't like football. It's a rule I live by, really. It doesn't mean they're a bad person, but it's a problem. What are we going to talk about? Stand up, Mark, says Samson. I do need a stretch. Let's go. Well, we haven't got the ball, so we're not going to bloody score. Oh, he's won a corner there. Well done. Galatasaray won a corner. Well, I'm sitting down. I'm not here for bloody Galatasaray to score goals. Sit down, Bridge. Jarma Botton's on. Yeah, I'm not feeling great today. Well, I'm all right. I'm just feeling a bit off. But, corner to Galatasaray. They get up for it. Oh, see, no one's marking anyone on the back post again. Soft. Sahar goes down against Delo there. I don't know what he's looking for. This is a pass to Bruno, surely. It's a tap in for Bruno. Oh, for fuck's sake, mate. Bloody hell. Well, you just got to get your head up. Get that head up of yours, Marcus. Get that head up of yours. Get that head up. So basically, he's onside. He's running in through one-on-one. He's gone for the sweat pass. And he's undercooked it. And the defender's kicked it out. I mean, yeah, that's got to be a goal. That has to be a goal. But you know what? I mean, people say shoots. If he shoots and misses, in fairness, if he shoots and misses, everyone's going to say, why didn't he square it to Bruno? It's a definite goal. So he squares it to Bruno and undercooks the pass. I'm going to take the positive. And the positive is this. There's so much bloody space out there. Lift your head up and go again. Why is Bruno always pointing and asking players to pass in a direction? He has done this in many games. It's very annoying, says Ankit. So, corner to Manchester United. Look, there's loads of time to go. There'll be more chances, and that won't even matter. Apparently Luton are playing tonight. Didn't even know there was a Premier League game going on. Goes to the scores. They're losing to Burnley, I think, or have they equalised? Might be an equaliser for Luton there, if you're interested. Birmingham beating Huddersfield 3-0. Solihull are beating Rochdale 1-0. Keep going, lads. Lovely stuff. There's so much space on the break. But again, that chance came from Rashford making the run into the right. Copenhagen are beating Bayern at the moment, by the way. Yeah, that's never a penalty. I don't know why they're showing that. It's never a penalty. Zaha kicks Delo. Can't give a penalty for that. Having a bloody laugh. Zaha is bullying Delo at times, his flip kick, but the referee is getting in the way of a lot of our passes. Zaha's a very good winger. You know, Zaha is very, very good. Like, he's Premier League proven and he's very good. I don't know why anyone would be surprised by that. Did someone just ask why Bruno is communicating, says TJ. Imagine if Copenhagen got a result against Bayern Munich. There's goals here, you know. There's so many goals here for United. I've never seen a team at Old Trafford with so much space. It's almost like they're playing with 10 men, Galatasaray. There's so much space out there. If you contrast this game with Crystal Palace on Saturday, there was no space against Palace at all. There were players everywhere. There's so much space here. Rashford isn't capable of making the right decisions at the right time. He shoots when you should pass and he passes when you should shoot, says Vincent. I mean, this is just weight of pass. He knows Bruno's there. He knows Bruno's there. You know what he does? He gets the angle of the pass wrong. He cuts it back. It's not the weight of the pass. It's the angle of the pass. Makes the defender favourite. Body language of Rashford's not great again, is it? Rasmus really reminds me of Erling, playstyle-wise, says Dan. Haven't seen a number 9 performance like this at Old Trafford since Van Persie, says Ruby. Well, he is a positive. Copenhagen are winning 1-0, 56 minutes. And thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate that. He loved that goal, didn't he, Rasmus? He loved it. I don't think Onana can do a lot on that goal, really. Love watching along with you, Mark. Not many Man United fans in Louisiana. Thanks for all you do, says Weston. Hope you're doing well, pal. Lots of space for us, but passing has been shocking, says Jan. And you know, Mark, I do feel bad for Rashford. Gets ridiculed for not passing, gets ridiculed for not shooting. This poor lad can't catch a break, says Slow. It'll click at some point, won't it? Imagine what'll happen to Galatasaray if they go and play like this in Munich. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes! Get in! That's magnificent from Rasmus. That is Erling Haaland-esque. That is quality. He's offside. Fuck off. What the fuck? How? It doesn't look anywhere near offside. Oh, he's off. Yeah. It's a shame. I mean, look, it's a shame because the composure is brilliant. The composure was brilliant, wasn't it? We should buy Saka, says Smooth. It was brilliant composure, you know. Doesn't mean nothing now, does it? Because it's fucking offside. But hi, Mark. Great show as always. Just wanted to say how good it was to see Southend United got saved today. This little club needs help sometimes, says Carpet. And Bruno takes shots he shouldn't. Rashie takes on 2 players and loses the ball. Shaw was the connection between them. Even Malacia would do better than Amrabat. We need Shaw back, says Attaché. We could do with the invisible Bournemouth striker tonight, says Harvey. The chances are coming. Like, there's so much space out there. I keep talking about it, but, you know, Rasmus nearly scores. That's a yellow card, definitely. No, Rasmus was offside. I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is, the composure. He didn't know he was offside. Was fantastic. Double substitution for Galatasaray with half an hour. This is where Ten Hag should be looking at subs as well. I know Eriksen's come on and given us a bit of stability. That's a point, actually. I wanted to have a quick look at that. Remember we had like 70, was it 75% pass accuracy at half-time, it's going up already with the introduction of Eriksen, and the possession's going up as well, which it will do. If your pass accuracy improves, then your possession will improve. There's a goal coming for Man United, 100%. Oh, Rashford got up. Good header. Mark, I feel that Rashford is in his own head again. He's thinking too much and needs to go to his instincts. Maybe a game or two on the bench, says James. Never going to happen, mate. Rashford didn't even win that header. It came off the defender. We're dominating at the moment. It is like playing against 10 men. There's so much space out there. I can't believe we've only got 1 goal. We could have 2 now. Casemiro blocked. No, you're not going to get past Amrabat. Eriksen actually playing very good in my opinion. Great passes, but the attackers keep fumbling, says the Lucas. Here we go. Lovely ball out wide again for Bruno. Casemiro's the pass there. Mount. It's a shot, I suppose. Still got half an hour here. Like, the way we're playing at the moment, the goal's going to come. Just got to keep doing it. As I say, so much space, so many opportunities in and around the box. The goal will come. They're not creating anything. Garnacho time, says Lee. Well, I don't think he will do that. He won't do that because he'll keep Bruno and Rashford on because they're his favourites, and he'll be thinking there's a goal coming and I want them to score it. Greetings, Mark. I think the best way to describe Rashford's shooting obsession is him being trigger happy. He always wants to shoot, nothing else, says Owen. And when it works, it's great. Got to win this game. Lots of praise for Eriksen in the chat. Yeah, because Eriksen actually in a game like this is perfect. So much space. You know, you're not going to get dominated in the midfield. It's not really a midfield battle, is it? The midfield's getting bypassed because there's so much space in the team. They're playing a high line, high attacking line and a low defensive line, and it just leaves this massive void in the middle. They're not playing very compact. Hi, Mark from India. Please visit here once. We love you, says Sultan. Thank you very much, pal. Damien Ship, welcome to the Members Club. People keep over-criticising because of their tunnel vision. One wrong step and everyone keeps trying to get rid of the owners, the coach, all legends and younger get on Gen without looking for a fix. Might as well get rid of the fan base, says Maximilian. Eriksen one-touch forward, passes forward is prime. As I say, I can see why he brought Eriksen on because there's so much room for him out there to operate. He's almost like a deep quarterback. Arif, thanks for your super chat. Mark Amrabat is class, says Liam. Oh, come on, let's just get this goal. Bruno shoots straight at the keeper. Better shot that time. Worth hitting. Bounced up for him on the edge of the box. I don't think there's a better thing to do there. Just didn't get the direction on it. Will United beat Brentford at the weekend, Mark, says Steve? Completely different game. Completely different game. You can't watch this game like last Tuesday in the Carabao Cup. We beat Palace reserves. Everyone was like, we're back. And then you play a different team. Brentford will come and play like Palace. They won't come and play like Galatasaray. They will play with compact. They don't have a lot of possession, Brentford. It's not unusual for Brentford to give the opposition 60-65% possession. So they'll play deep, they'll play compact, they'll play with a low block, and it'll be a completely different game. But this is we shouldn't be talking about Brentford. This tonight is absolutely massive. We have to win. Otherwise, it's Emmerdale Cup time. Do 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 do. That's not a bad ball. That's not a bad ball. Is this a good time for Rashi and Bruno to come off? Says there's absolutely no chance. We need a goal. He ain't going to do it. Rasmus is in here. Mistake at the back. He's fast. Oh, my God. The pace of Rasmus here. Oh, yes. That's magnificent. That is absolutely magnificent. From his own half. Absolutely brilliant. What a brilliant goal by Rasmus Højlund. The boy has arrived. Rasmus. Absolutely fantastic. Electric. It comes from a mistake at the back. But it's a foot race from his own half, and he blasts past their defender. Absolutely leaves him standing to make it 2-1. I told you Davinson Sanchez was shit. Watch this back. It's their mistake. He's in his own half. Look at the pace. That is pace. People who don't think he's quick. And a little dink over the top. I'll have some ketchup with that one. Lovely little dinky chip. And... all the way from his own half. Absolutely fantastic. He's deserved his second goal tonight. He's got 3 in 2. 3 in 2 for Rasmus. The goal was coming. We knew it was coming. And the boy has arrived. Even the offside goal, he took it really well. Really big positive tonight. Martial's giving him a hug as well. He'll be loving it. He's on a hat-trick. Personally, I think Rashford has had a better game. His decisions have been correct, says Ed. The man is hotter than the sun, says Jason. And Nabil has gifted a membership as well. And now that's a proper striker, says Max. Yeah, well, that is a proper striker because it's not always about service. Sometimes it's about being a predator, feeding off scraps. And that's, there's no assist on that goal at all. A Man United player doesn't touch it 3 times before he gets it. It's in possession of Galatasaray. They make a mistake and he pounces in his own half. Bang, he's away. Damien Ship, 10 memberships. Thank you very much for gifting the memberships. You're a legend, mate. 3 goals in 2 Champions League ties. We needed a striker. Musiala's just scored for Bayern, by the way. The dream is over. Stefano says, I'll never understand people who say he's slow. Just not done their own work. Not done their own work. I mean, he literally is a player that likes to get the ball and dribble. You don't do that if you're like a bag of cement, do you? According to the internet, Rasmus means beloved, says Ricky's grandson. Right. You know what we need to do now for 10 minutes? Not concede. Oh, for fuck's sake. I thought that was going in. Literally, straight after scoring, they go and have a chance. And they've not even had a chance in about half an hour. And we score a goal, and within 2 minutes, they've had a really good chance. And it was bloody close as well. I admit I said Højlund was just a younger Weghorst. I was wrong, says Bran. Vacation Pap says, I don't think Rashford's lost for confidence. I think he's creating for others as opposed to just creating for himself. He now needs to find a balance. I didn't actually see. Watch now. Gala will score within the next 5, says Elliot's. I think he took Rashford off. I think Rashford came off. Garnacho's on. He took Rashford off when we scored for Garnacho. So that was going to happen anyway with 20 minutes to go. I mean, look, I applaud that. I applaud that. You know, if you're going to make changes, you've got to make them with 20 minutes to go. And I applaud that. Mark, is Maguire still our captain? No. Alfie was taken off him. Arsenal are losing as well. Could be... oh, you know what, though? Galatasaray. For fuck's sake, man! What the fucking hell is going on? What's going on? Like, every time we score, we concede. The mentality in that team is absolutely shit. Like, really bad. There's just no balance in that team. They're good, they're bad, they're good. Left back, centre midfield. There's no balance. We've got all the balance of a pissed up one-legged prat with a blindfold on a tightrope being shot at with a water gun. There's just no balance in this team. They need to do yoga or something. Find your balance. We score a goal and we go shit. I can't believe it. They've done nothing all half. Nothing all half. And then we score a goal. Oh, come on, attackers. Come on round. Fucking hell. I despair. I really despair. It's just, at this point, we're just saying, like, for the next 10 minutes, we just need to keep hold of the ball. Unbelievable. Rasmus can't believe it. Oh. Well, I think that goal, if you're having a go at anybody, and I think he's played very well. It's like the EAFC kickoff glitch in real life, says it's Dave in show. I think with, that's probably down to the fact that you've got a midfielder playing at left back, but I just don't believe it. We're crap. It's so hard to watch as user 234. Like, the hardest thing is that old saying that we've seemed to use every bloody show. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Like, every time we score, we're so vulnerable. And they're attacking out the fact that we haven't got a left back now because they're doing it again. Fucking hell. Cross into the box. What can Ten Hag do about this, says Nort. Well, Ten Hag will obviously get the blame for it because he is the manager, but I do question mark big time the fact that we have this mentality where we just cannot stay in a game. Conceding way too many goals, like way too many. I know it's an obvious statement, but we're only in early October. We must. What are we averaging at home? Well over. Must be about 2 goals a game. Well, no, it won't be that many because with Wolves we didn't concede. Brighton 3, Forest 2, Galatasaray 2, Palace 1. It's not acceptable. Mark, and Arna will be a bad buy. We'll be in trouble with this keeper, says Marcus. Nose is running now as well. Fucking hell, mate! This calls for a Hoyland hat trick, says Jay. I think we're going to bloody need it. I mean, Anana's not going to save that chance. Let's be honest. Oh, good cross by Garnacho, corner. Hoyland claps it. I mean, look, we've still got 20 minutes to go here, and they're still very open. We've still got time to win this, plenty of time. And I think we still will win it, but questions have still got to be asked about this team. Like, you can't go ahead twice and then let them score within 5 minutes both times. Not picking up midfield runners again, says Benji. This is not a hard thing to train in training session. It needs to be worked on every single time, says Benji. Burnley beat Luton, says Kyle. Thanks for that. Cross comes in. Back post header, Casemiro. Onto the box. Onto the box. Onto the box. Onto the box. Onto the roof of the net. It's like being Annabelle's and waking up at Simmons, says Atashi. Bring on Maguire. Bring on Martial. Trust me. Bring on Martial. This is on Ten Hag. This has been repeating all season, says Christopher. We don't want to bring a defender on. We've got to win. Players are the problem and should have wages docked, says Daniel. They're in again here. Corner. Now he's giving a goal kick. LB says, Beth is clueless at football but okay with eyebrows. Well, I've never heard such shit and sexist nonsense in all my life. I'm a maths teacher, and the probability that it's... Oh, my fuck. It's a penalty. He's going to get sent off as well. He might give him a second yellow. Oh, I don't fucking believe this. I really don't believe this. Is Casemiro gone as well? I think Casemiro's sent off. Onana. Fucking hell, mate. I can't believe this. He's passed it to Mertens. Casemiro's tried to tackle him. It's a definite second yellow. If he's still on the pitch, he's jammy. He's gone. This is a fucking nightmare. This is a fucking nightmare. I'm just going to say it now. I never wanted to say it, but we never should have got rid of De Gea. Never should have got rid of De Gea. 17 clean sheets last season. There was nothing wrong with the defence, apart from this obsession from the fan base, who was clipping him up all the time, going, "We need a ball-playing keeper. We need a ball-playing keeper. Let me do another compilation on David De Gea. We need to do another. I don't care if he's got clean sheets. I've been putting this together. Look at this mistake. Look at him kicking it out. Look at him. Look at his bad passing out the back. We need a progressive goalkeeper. I don't care if he saves shots. I don't care if we keep clean sheets. We need a progressive goalkeeper." Fucking idiots. You've got blood on your hands. You've caused all this with your fucking compilations and your hipster shit. Oh, we need a ball-playing goalkeeper. We need a ball-playing goalkeeper. Fuck off. Absolute shite. If it's not broken, don't try and fit. He's missed it. Fucking get in. Oh, you're lucky there. You caught me mid-rant. Icardi misses it. 2-2. Absolute fucking joke. I've told you so many times. I'm old enough to remember when Schmeichel retired. People think being a Man United goalkeeper is as simple as going, he plays well for Porto, he plays well for Inter, he plays well for Brentford. It's Manchester United. It swallows you up. It wasn't broken. So why did we try and fix it? Bartes, Bosnich. There's a long list of goalkeepers that were good goalkeepers where we bought them from and they got swallowed up. I mean, why is he passing? You know, for a ball-playing goalkeeper, why is he playing that pass? You know, if De Gea did this last season, they'd want him locking up. You know what? I think, you know, I like Onana, but he's just cost us Casemiro. He will miss the next game. I think the gloves are too big for him. I think the shirt's too big for him. I think he's just overthinking it. Like I think it's, you know, and I don't blame him. I put it on Ten Hag. You know, I don't think this. I think some of his substitutions are weird. Some of his signings at the moment just look a little bit dubious. Go on, Garnacho. Oh, what the fuck? Brilliant play. We could still win this. We could still win this. What a bit of defending that was. I thought Garnacho put it over the bar. Brilliant by Garnacho and really good defending. When we're down to 10 men here. We can still win it. David De Gea's clean sheets got us in the Champions League and Onana gets us out of it, says Wayne. Arif, thank you very much. Look, I don't want to make it about Onana, but the thing that pisses me off the most, it's not even the penalty, it's the fact that Casemiro gets sent off because of it, and now he won't play in the next game. I can't wait to hear what Beth says after this, says Tevin. Yeah, I said at the beginning of the season that Arteta will regret spending so much of his budget on Havertz. It's the same with Ten Hag, with Onana and Mount, says UK Enterprise. It's a good pass out to Garnacho, though. We've got to win this game. A draw's, I mean, it doesn't put us out, but a draw's not a. Oh, for fuck's sake! He's through 1-on-1. Where's the defence here? Oh, for fuck's sake! He's not offside. He's not offside. Amrabat's playing him on. The fuck are we doing here? Well, what did I say earlier? Get yourself onto Pornhub. You know, categories, MILF, Manchester United's just before it. Manchester United getting screwed at the back. Trending, #1 on Pornhub. Absolutely fucking rubbish. It's over. We're not winning the game. I mean, Amrabat plays him on. Miles on. It's not even, you know what? It's not even much of a lob. I think Onana's got to do better here. Look. He goes down too early. Like a hooker on holiday. He's gone down too early. If he stands up, he saves it. Icardi's not even got much of a lob on that. That's not even a lob. That's not even a lob. That's not a chip. I'm sending that back at McDonald's. That's not a chip. It's straight at him. He's just gone down early. Oh, fucking God. I tell you what, these player ratings are going to be interesting. 80 fucking 1 minutes. What a joke, man. Oh, God. Oh, dear me. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I've just turned it off, Mark. Kicked in the balls again. Rasmus doesn't deserve this. Look, Mount, Onana, Rasmus, brilliant signing. What are we doing? What are we doing defensively here? Why? It's Liverpool all over again. Like, fucking defend, lads. It's over. Just fucking defend. Goal difference will matter. Moses says, Onana doesn't have the players to play his style of play. Inter was set up to play out from the back with the right players, says Moses. How do I deal with a breakup in Manchester United? Help me, Mark, says Harron. Anthony's going to come on here, but they're making 2 subs as well. They ain't stupid. This Galatasaray coach ain't stupid. It's Christmas, and he's making subs. He's freshening it up. Fucking hell, mate. I don't believe this. I can't... This game's gone because of a misplaced pass by Onana. At 2-2, with Garnacho on and 11 players, and how much space there is, I think you win the game. That one pass has fucked us. Simple as that. The game has gone at that moment. You can't account for that. Let's lighten the mood, Mark. Who wins in a fight, a crocodile or a polar bear? This is Benji. You said Onana was box office, more like comedy gold, says Anthony. Look, I backed Onana when we bought him, but I also said don't get rid of De Gea. I'll always back a player when we sign them, and Onana was a very good goalkeeper, and I was very happy to have him. But I also said that I've seen Man United swallow up goalkeepers. Barthez was one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He was shit at United. Bosnich was a very good goalkeeper at Villa. He was shit at United. Like, if people don't want to do their homework and do their, you don't replace a goalkeeper when they're not broken. Schmeichel retired. Van der Sar retired. You've got to replace them. De Gea didn't retire. De Gea had another year in him. We shouldn't have done that. You don't, and also it wasn't the area to do it in, but we did it, and I backed Onana. But fuck it, was surprise, it's not working out. Can't blame anyone but Ten Hag. You've got a Golden Glove with a tight budget. You decide to get a new keeper. I don't see anything in Onana that makes me think he's a good goalkeeper, says Sean. Onana is as bad as Maguire has been. He just falls, says Mackenzie. Wish the Onana being dropped rumours were true now, so it's Mark. Here comes the Europa League. We're finished, says Dean. Mate, it's getting bad. I mean, I'm never going to say those words Ten Hag out because I don't think it helps us, but he's in fucking trouble now, isn't he? I just don't understand what is happening or what's wrong with the team. At this rate, Ten Hag won't see Christmas, says Larry. We just played a team that came to Old Trafford. Bayern are winning now. We just played a team that came to Old Trafford and played open, wide open. They'd get done at Anfield 5 or 6. Man City, 5 or 6. Arsenal, 5 or 6. We can't even create enough chances. The defence has lost it. Last season was built on a solid defensive unit. Now we're playing like strangers, says Emily. I won't lie, we're horrible. Even if Qatar buys us, it would take 3 years, says Lesidi. We knew this would happen with a new keeper. I saw it coming a mile off, says Jay Piggott. Now it's a case of, is he good enough or is he the first of a few again? Well, look, he might get there, he might get there, Piggott, but I don't know. It's okay, Mark. He'll just apologise and everyone will forgive him again. This keeper is rubbish. I was gutted that David was screwed over, says Red Smurf United. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. I've also put the link for the player ratings in the video description, so you can start voting there if you want. There is only 5 minutes here and there is not a lot of time added on when it comes to Champions League games. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Man United are 3-2 down here. They're down to 10 men. And look, I think I'll save it for the match reaction. There's a lot to say, but yeah, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. No, I predicted Man United would win 2-1. It was that 2-1's not a resounding win, is it? But I did say nothing surprises me at the moment. I'll probably predict us to beat Brentford, but I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't beat them. The frequency of teams coming to Manchester United and beating us at the moment is terrifying. Remember, United have got a new contract for Ten Hag as well. That's true. Oh, it's all about game management. We've managed this game horrifically. Absolutely horrific. Martial's coming on way too late for me. We seem to always find a way to lose a game, even when it seems unlikely. Not the correct type of no giving up attitude, says George. Well, it's not coincidence, George, is it? Damien gifted 10 memberships. Damien Ship. I think we said that, but thank you very much, Damien. At what point do we drop Onana for Bienda, says Liam? I think it might happen, mate. Keeper now going long and giving it away, says Ollie. Too many players have gone missing this second half as well. A lot of people said at half-time that Mount was doing quite well. Disappeared second half. Keeper's very poor, says Connor. Amrabat comes off for Martial. Don't think Amrabat's played that well, you know. I think they've exploited the left-back position because he's not a fucking left-back. Surprise, surprise. Cilla Black. It's not a left-back. This is getting too frequent. I mean, look, a draw is better than a loss. A draw is better than a loss, and if we can scrap a draw out, fantastic. But, you know, it's not looking likely. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, we've got the match reaction coming up after this, where we'll do the player ratings. And then after that, we've got the fan forum from the studio, where Beth will be on. Very big vocal get the hair out person, Beth. And also very vocal that we needed to change the goalkeeper. Call the hipsters out. They clipped up a 17 clean sheet goalkeeper. Blood on your hands. Blood on your hands. I don't know what you were thinking. We need to get rid of a goalkeeper that won the Golden Glove because we need someone who can pass out from the back. We've got someone who can pass out from the back. He's just cost us Champions League football and Casemiro. Careful what you think your brain's telling you when it comes to football. It's nice that you think you're a hipster and you know it all, but I'd prefer it. You kept it to yourself, shut up, and went for a walk. Liverpool with 10 men compared to United, says Brian. Liverpool with 9 men compared to United. Remember, we could have all been watching Madrid versus Napoli right now. Losing is one thing, but neither team is even playing well. This looks like a Europa League match, says Les. I can't believe how much space Galatasaray gave us in this game. Icardi nearly scored again. Genuinely, I failed to see how Onana makes that mistake without doing it on purpose. There wasn't... he's not done it on... Come on, Sean, let's not be stupid. He hasn't done it on purpose. The problem with Onana is that very, 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 very good ball-playing goalkeeper is what we bought. Very, very average ball-playing goalkeeper is what we have at the moment. And in relation to shot stopping, you can tell me all the stats you want to, but he ain't very good at it compared to De Gea. He hasn't got the movement or the dexterity that De Gea had. Onana is an imposter. There's no way he was a goalkeeper before coming here, says Sean. I've backed Ten Hag, but he's really starting to make me question him. Well, we can't go down that road. I mean, where would you go next? This is rock bottom. Ten Hag deserves the sack for them signings, says Irish Pat. Nah, we're not at that point, mate. Well, I'm not. Remember what the real problem at this football club is before we start trying to sack another manager. There's no point. No, somebody says he's still defending Ten Hag. No, he is to blame. I've put it on my match reaction. Ten Hag is to blame tonight. I mean, I'm not afraid to call it out. My major concern is just how the players are going to react. You know, it's... ...7 minutes added on, though. Mamma mia, here we go again. Rashford sub, absolute stupidity, says Robert McCormack. I don't think the Rashford sub cost us, mate. Beth has a lot to answer for, says Nick. It's not just Beth, mate. And surely you can't sack Ten Hag. You're going through a transitional period. You're going to have bad results. Look at Liverpool before the 18-19 season, says Andrew. Onana and Ten Hag to blame tonight. Crumble under pressure, says Big Steve. 7 defeats in 14 games. Champions League at home. Pathetic, says Stevie J. Eric Ten Hag is set up to fail. Guardiola would fail here as well, says Scandinavian. There's Garnacho. I mean, there's just no support. No support. Trying little flicks again. I support Onana and I hope it's just settling in nerves. I know you all want to play the I told you so game, so carry on, says Nick P. No, Nick, I'm not playing a told you so. I'm not playing a told you so. I'm simply saying that we didn't need to do it. Onana, I hope Onana turns it around. I really do. I did like him before he came to United. Martial nearly shot from nothing. Good save. Offside anyway. I'm not playing the told you so game. What I'm saying is that we didn't need to do it. We didn't need to break the continuity. We didn't need to change it. This team has the worst mentality I've seen, and it's clear Ten Hag is a coach. He shouldn't be picking the players in the transfer market, says Aldo. Farhad, thank you very much. This is why we need a proper director of football. You can't just get Dutch League rejects, but that's our Poundland budget at work, says Brad. And Rashford missing chance contributed to the loss. Rashford should be nowhere near the first team, says Michael. I look at this game, and it wasn't what I was going to mention on the match reaction anyway, so it's not a spoiler. I look at this game, and people will focus on the Onana pass. But at 2-1, when Rasmus scores that brilliant goal, we concede within 2 minutes, and they hadn't had a chance in the previous half an hour. That's the most important goal. That's the point where the game is lost, because we're dominating, we score the goal, and then we concede straight away. That's where it goes wrong. That's the problem with this team, this ability, which is not an ability, to constantly concede when we score. Ten Hag cost us Ronaldo, De Gea, and has now cost us Sancho with the worst start in 35 years. You can't defend him anymore. He's a fraud, says Chris. Mistake, Onana, I cost us Premier League and Champions League, game over. This team is a joke, says Krista. Shocking from Onana and Ten Hag, but if we sack him now, we may as well stop watching for the rest of the season, says Ollie. And the only thing Ten Hag is at fault for is being impatient with wanting to implement his style. The players we have aren't suited for it, says Ricky. Well, Onana's out of his goal here. I was going to say, I don't know why Onana was going forward for that corner, because if we concede again, goal difference could still be very important. Not sure about all the signings, says Philip, but we know Mount, Anthony and Onana were Ten Hag signings, as you were obsessed with all have been terrible. This is why we need a director of football, says Philip. Onana won't be coming back from this. He's getting worse as the season goes on. Confidence will be zero, says Big Steve. What is the problem, Mark? I'm fed up, says Sankadeep. And you can fire and hire all the managers you want, but with these owners, it's like drilling holes in the boat to let water out, says Jump. I agree. Final whistle. Mark, I like Ten Hag. I'm writing for some of these problem. Mark, I like Ten Hag, but he plays guys in the wrong position. Mount should have played right wing and Bruno Cam, and rather Johnny Evans left back and Amrabat in the midfield, says Juan. Thank you very much. We've just handed Galatasaray one of the most famous nights in their recent history, and we've handed them on a plate. Ten Hag looks fuming, but he's on thin ice. I said this in the preview last night. He's on thin ice, and he made thin ice selections. You look at my preview team. Look at the preview team that I did on last night, and I said the most important thing is balance. Put people in positions that allow you to have balance. So you can have Amrabat in the midfield with Casemiro. You put Maguire next to Varane. You put Lindelof at right back. He's played there before. Dalot at left back. Build the team on balance. Garnacho on the left. He didn't. He put Bruno on the right wing. He put Amrabat at left back. He put Mabry at centre midfield. He started Rashford. He imbalanced the team, and he's got to take the blame for that. But there's a lot more to talk about. Let's go over to the match reaction. You can do every player by 10, 6 being the average. I wonder what happened to bloody Casemiro then, the invisible man. I'm playing at EAFC, but he got sent off. Bottom right-hand corner, subscribe to the channel, and also links in the video description in this video and in the match reaction for your player ratings. I'll see you over there in a minute. Lots to discuss. United are in trouble.